sycophants, falling towers, and train wrecks. On July 23, 2015, a shooting occurred at the Grand 16 movie theater in Lafayette, Louisiana.
They seem to be coming closer and closer together. Just 1 week after the deadly mass shooting in Chattanooga, Tennessee, a gunman opened fire last night in a movie theater in Lafayette, Louisiana. He killed 2 young women and wounded 9 others for no apparent reason.
Gunfire broke out around 7:30 p.m. during the Trainwreck movie. 7:30 equals 21, or 777. This is a reference to the judgment of Shemitah, the 7 cycles of 7 years at the start of the 7th month. Trainwreck means a chaotic and totally disastrous situation. The train wreck is a reference to America's coming judgment and subsequent destruction following the Shemitah year's end. Remember the derailment of the Amtrak train, which occurred earlier this year. This was also symbolic of America's coming train wreck. It is important to point out that this shooting took place on July 23, 2015. The number 23 is connected with the law of fives, Principia Discordia, and the goddess of chaos, Eros. The significance of this will be shown later in this video, but keep it in mind. The number 23 connects this event with the 23 chromosomes of a human cell that make up one part of a human embryo. It should be noted that LeBron James has a role in the movie Trainwreck, and his jersey number is number 23. It should also be noted that LeBron in Latin comes from lepus, which means cowardly or timid. We will also revisit the significance of this as well. The Dark Knight movie theater shooting occurred on July 20th, 2012, exactly 3 years and 3 days prior to this event, connecting these 2 events to the number 33. 33 is a reference to order out of chaos. Another strange anomaly that connects these 2 events is the fact that the Dark Knight shooting occurred at the Century 16 Theater.
315 and 314 for a shooting at Century Theaters.
And this shooting occurred at the Grand 16 Theater. In the tarot, the number 16 is the Tower card. This card follows immediately after the Devil in all tarots that contain it, and it is associated with sudden, disruptive, and potentially destructive change. The Tower is commonly interpreted as meaning danger, crisis, destruction, and liberation. It should be noted that at the present time, Donald Trump continues to be pushed forward by the media as the most prominent presidential candidate of 2016.
Donald Trump's rise in the polls causing heartburn for his Republican rivals.
I want to save the country. Our country's going to hell. We have a problem. I want to make America great again.
Donald Trump is most famous for the Trump Towers, connecting him with the 16th Trump, or major arcana card in the tarot. Remember, this card is the very next card in the deck after the Devil. The Tower card shows a bolt of lightning striking the top of a tower and the destruction of that tower. It should be noted that the rise or building of a tower marks the beginning of greatness for a nation. This has been historically correct since the building of the Tower of Babel. However, the destruction of that tower is symbolic of the destruction of that nation as well. Remember, the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center were built in 1973, the year of the Shemitah, and they were destroyed in 2001, the year of the Shemitah. What then does this say about the future of America? Interestingly enough, 11 people were shot, with 9 being injured and 2 killed. This is another reference to 9/11 and the destruction of the two towers. Also, we must not forget the Empire State Building shooting, in which 11 people were shot, 2 people were killed, and 9 were wounded. These are the exact same numbers from the shooting in Lafayette. It is also important to remember that Obama signed the beam for the One World Trade Center with the statement, "We remember, we rebuild, we come back stronger." This was done in defiance of the judgment of the Most High God on America. Now let's look at the significance of the number 16 as it pertains to this event. Abraham Lincoln was the 16th President of the United States from 1861 to 1865. He was also President during the Civil War. This connects this event with the recent debate over the Confederate flag. After the shooting, Hauser left the theater through a side door and headed towards his car, a 1995 Lincoln. This is a reference to the assassination of the 16th President, President Lincoln, who was shot in a theater. This is also connected to the assassination of John F. Kennedy, who was shot while riding in a Lincoln. 1995, the year of Hauser's Lincoln, can be flipped to give us the number 1965. It should be noted that President John F. Kennedy's limousine in which he was assassinated was a 1961 Lincoln Continental convertible, and it was retired in 1965. When we look at the names involved, a message from the Most High appears. Lafayette means faithful. Louisiana means famous in war. The name of the shooter is John Russell Rusty Hauser. John means Yahweh has favored. Russell from Russet means reddish brown color or ruddy. Rusty means mental or physical abilities are impaired. It also signifies a loss of agility and alertness because knowledge and skill has been impaired by lack of practice. Hauser means someone who provides shelter, one who provides a habitation or dwelling place and serves as a guardian and protector. Therefore, the meaning is as follows: the faithful one who is famous in war, Yahweh has favored. He is a reddish brown color, and he is rusty. His mental and physical abilities have been impaired, causing him to operate incorrectly. He has lost agility and alertness because his knowledge and skill has been impaired through lack of practice. He is the one who is the habitation and dwelling place of Yah, and he serves as a guardian and protector. The gun Hauser used, a high-point 40 caliber semi-automatic pistol, was legally purchased from a pawn shop in Phoenix City, Alabama, which is a reference to rebirth or resurrection. This is symbolic of the resurrection of the Antichrist from a head wound, which is a depiction of the phoenix rising from its own ashes.
We're learning more about the two victims this morning, 21-year-old Mayci Bro and 33-year-old Jillian Johnson.
Jillian Johnson, who was 33 years old, and Mayci Bro, who was 21 years old, were both killed in the shooting. Once again, there's a connection with the number 33, which is Masonic for order out of chaos, and 21, which is 777, and points to the Shemitah year and the coming judgment upon America. When we look at the names of the women who were killed, a message appears. Jillian means child of the gods, from Gillian or Julius, which means descendant from Jupiter or Zeus. Johnson means penis. Mayci means a weapon. Bro is French, and it is derived from a Germanic personal name composed of the elements ber, which means bear, plus wald, which means rule. Bear means an ill-mannered or rude person. Rule means to exercise great power and authority. Therefore, the meaning here is as follows. The child of the gods is a descendant of Jupiter or Zeus who used his penis as a weapon. This child is like a bear who rules. He is an ill-mannered and rude person who exercises great power and authority. Remember, Obama referred to himself as a bear on the loose as he walked around Washington.
Lost in the political wilderness for months.
I'm finding lately that I just want to say what's on my mind. So let me...
Can't be regular. Can't be routine.
It's fair to say President Obama is doing more than working through some cabin fever these days.
The bear is loose. The bear is loose.
And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power, and his seat, and great authority. Revelation 13:2. It should also be noted that the shooting occurred in Louisiana, a state that is associated with the fleur-de-lis, a symbol of the Merovingian satanic bloodline. Notice that Jillian Johnson is pictured holding an instrument with a picture of the Virgin Mary and baby Jesus, which is actually a depiction of Isis and Osiris, or Semiramis and Nimrod. Also notice the pattern of roses in the backdrop and those on her blouse. This is symbolic of the Rosicrucian Order of the Rosy Cross. An online business profile identifies Johnson as the co-owner of the Red Arrow Workshop. She was obsessed with Fats Waller, and her all-time favorite movie was The Coal Miner's Daughter, according to the site. Fats Waller claimed that he wrote the song Ain't Misbehaving while in alimony prison. This is a reference to the fallen angels being locked in prison for their sexual encounters with human women. The mention of the coal miner's daughter is a reference to deep underground mining, which is digging or tunneling underground in an effort to extract coal. Coal comes from the Greek word anthrax, and it means carbuncle or burning ember. Ezekiel 28 verse 13 tells us that one of the precious stones which covered Lucifer was the carbuncle. Interestingly enough, the word carbuncle in Hebrew is baraketh, and it means bright gem. Its root word is barak, and it means lightning, to cast forth lightning, and to thunder. This is a reference to Barack Obama, a son of Zeus. Remember, Obama's stage at his acceptance speech was erected as a copy of the altar of Zeus. Interestingly enough, Barack also means flashing arrowhead. To flash means to burst into flame and to give off light. Jillian Johnson was the co-owner of the Red Arrow Workshop. A red arrow would be a flashing arrow, or a sign for Barack. It should also be noted that the movie Coal Miner's Daughter starred Sissy Spacek. Allow me to show you the importance of why this information was included in this event. Johnson was a part of a band called the Figs. In Greek mythology, Sychaeus or Cisseus was a giant who waged war on the gods. His mother turned him into a fig tree to hide him from Zeus. The word sissy comes from sissius. A sissy is a person regarded as effeminate or cowardly. Remember that LeBron in Latin comes from lepus, which means cowardly or timid. It should also be noted, sissius in Greek means fig. Figs were also sacred to Dionysus, the horned goat god of the grape harvest. Wine, ecstasy, ritual madness, debauchery, and homosexuality. Interestingly enough, Obama visited his birthplace of Kenya, where he promoted equal rights for homosexuals, or sissies.
If you look at the history of countries around the world, when you start treating people differently, not because of any harm they're doing anybody, but because they're different, that's the path whereby freedoms begin to erode. If somebody is a law-abiding citizen and not harming anybody, the idea that they are going to be treated differently or abused because of who they love is wrong.
The term sycophant has its origins in ancient Greece. In ancient Athens, in particular, figs were very important due to the fact that the Athenians were particularly fond of figs. They were nicknamed sycophants, which originally meant fig eaters. Sycophancy literally means the person showing a fig, apparently referring to the fig sign used in making an accusation. Therefore, the word sycophant can also be taken to mean the accuser. This is most definitely a reference to Satan and his Antichrist. Mayci Bro worked at Coco's Eros, a woman's clothing store in Lafayette. Eros is the god of love. This is a depiction of the fallen angels who had sex with human women. After reviewing this event, it is clear that once again the powers that be have orchestrated this shooting to strike fear in the hearts of the public, while at the same time paying homage to the one they worship, Lucifer and his Antichrist. However, it is also clear that the Most High's authority supersedes anything these evil and wicked men do in service to Satan, because Yahweh's agenda overshadows all that they do. Continuously watching these orchestrated events occur in our society is akin to watching a train wreck occur in slow motion. It is also clear that this nation is imploding under the sheer weight of its own sinful, rebellious attitude towards God. And just as the falling towers collapsed on 9/11, it will eventually be destroyed in like manner. According to the book of Revelations, chapter 12, verse 10 and 11, the sycophant, the accuser, shall be cast down, and those who give testimony shall overcome him by the blood of the Lamb. Have you washed yourself in the blood of the Lamb? If you have not, please, I implore you to give your life to Yah by accepting Messiah as your personal Lord and Savior. Time is short. Shalom.